Hi there, Kenny here, and I'm about to start my M test in M testing course in about 20 minutes. I'm here a little bit early. I just want to talk briefly about the process because I've only done my theory class on a Wednesday night so far, and I learned something new actually. Did you know that if you're making your left turn and you're the leader of a group, you are supposed to be on the right track in a left-hand turn lane? No idea. So, yeah, that's new to me and something I have to get accustomed to. But if you are curious about taking your M course through places like RTI, Riders Training Institute, which is what I'm doing, it's a one evening, I believe it was 6 to 9 of theory, and then we continue on to today. So I would say the theory part is pretty standard. They go over like drinking alcohol, reaction time, things like that, and they kind of go through the rules of the road, blocking positions, lane positions, right away, and things like that. I think the way today is going to go is that they're going to have us run a little parking lot drill, probably make sure they can trust us to do these things, and probably go through some residential streets. This will all be done in group. I believe we will be observed, and there are going to be some peppered in lessons along the way, and then the main test, which is going to be at 2 p.m. They show you the testing sheet, the points that you have to not exceed to fail. But RTI does offer you like a extra course for testing if you do fail the first time around. So overall thoughts on this, I do feel like you do get your money's worth in getting some time to not develop bad habits, and the cost of the licensing is also included. And so is the free testing, right? Like if you don't pass the first time. So we will see how today goes. But I want to mention to you what I packed today. So today, weather-wise, it's not great. There might be some thunderstorms, chance of thunderstorms, rain popping in. I packed water, 2 protein bars, a DSLR camera, a rain suit. I'm probably forgetting a bunch of other shit, but extra pair of gloves, extra pair of shorts. I'm wearing a cotton shirt right now, but I have a moisture wicking t-shirt in my double bag. First aid kit, wipes, earplugs, extra earplugs, USB cable. I packed a little GoPro, but I don't think I could use it because I'm not allowed to record while I'm on these rides. What else did I pack? I'm pretty sure that's it. So, yeah, a little thermos, a hot thermos and a cold thermos. I like to ride with a little bit of each so I can get water. And when I do buy coffee at these coffee shops, I can fill my thermos and have hot coffee with me. Yeah, so I'll see how the rest of the day goes. Cheers, guys. Take care. Hey, Kenny here, and I have just done my M1 test, and you see me treated myself to a little bit of an iced coffee, and want to kind of share with you the results of my M test. If I can find the paperwork. Oh, geez, I hope I don't lose it. There we go. Here we go. So, literally, I got near my neighborhood. I got myself an iced coffee, and I figured I'd go through some of the results. I didn't do as great as I thought I'd do, and look, what dinged me was left blind spot check. And these points added up for me. There were a couple things I missed. There was a track that I didn't move to the right
lane, sorry. I didn't move to the right. Wrong track. I had a late signal. I had no problems on the curves. You know, I went over a line on a certain spot. No issues on highways. Look, I didn't do as good as I thought I would have done. However, basically, to sum all this up, it's a pass. So I've completed my M. My number of errors was 18. Just going to be transparent with you. And a lot of that really had to do with just lack of a left blind spot check. And I feel like maybe I've been doing my blind... I felt like I've done my blind spot checks, and maybe that just wasn't picked out by the instructor, because, you know, I could have swore I was doing blind spot checks, because if it done it right, I would have done a left. But, you know, sometimes I don't catch it, and it gets repeated. Or specifically being a left, I'm not blaming this, again, on the instructor. It may have just been a thing I did, but the gist of it really is that those things can accumulate and they can harm you in passing your M course. So a little bit about the day. I spent most of the day doing intersections, stoplights, four ways, and they did a lot of that really just to get you to really get your writing bad habits down for the count, because these will tack up on you for your M test. So obviously a lot of head checks. And I think one thing that surprised me was, you know, even though you are fluid and your everyday riding, sometimes just doing those little things and making the time for it gets, you speed up the process, because you just don't slow down enough. And if you slow down, I think you do get through that mental checklist a lot easier. So we did several passes of highways before we did the M test. So overall experience, I felt like it was a great way to get rid of some last bad habits before you got your M. And I mean, would I recommend doing like a course after just having done so? Yeah, like I think there's a little bit of group riding, and we take turns riding from spot 1 to spot 5. There was one instructor and 5 riders, and you do a little bit of group riding, and some of us have not done group riding. So all in all, I think it was a great experience. I would have loved to have done better, but again, the things I didn't do well were things that compounded into my marks being deducted. So I didn't do a lot of mistakes, but I repeated some mistakes out of habit. So that was my M test. The bike did great. No issues there. Yeah, so I might have some thoughts after this. But look, I just filled up gas trying to finish my iced coffee. And gas mileage wise that I did, it was $6 worth of gas, you know, but the bike held up really well. I probably overpacked. I still brought my DSLR. I still brought my action cameras, a couple bottles of water. So I could have packed a little less. The weather turned out to be great. So again, very glad to have done this. And now I have my M. I don't know what's next. But I found it interesting in that there were a couple riders. One really held out, a woman. She really held out to the end because she just wasn't in love with riding anymore. And then a second rider who just didn't know this motorcycle thing was going to be a long-term thing for him. And both had mentioned that it's just the other drivers. So I think now that I have my M, I'm looking forward to, you know, having a motorcycle and doing all the things. But I think that does resonate with a lot of other riders, in that the roads are, you know, they seem year over year little trickier to navigate and stressful. So anyways, I'm baking out here. I wanted to take my jacket off, but got this microphone on. So I'm going to go ahead and enjoy my iced coffee, celebrate. But yeah, those are kind of my thoughts on my M test. So thanks for watching, and cheers. See you on the road.